So this is the first time I got to ride the Ducati Scrambler Full Throttle. Overall, I like this motorcycle. It got handlebars in a more sportier riding position. Night shift is somewhere over here. This is where the full throttle and the icon handlebar is somewhere over here. So if you are in for a spirited sporty riding, this handlebars fits perfectly. Now there are 3 add-ons on the full throttle compared to the other models. Number 1, it's got a Terminioni slip-on as standard. Number 2, it got an optional quick shifter. And number 3, it got a sum guard as standard. So if you want to take it on mild off-road, it is absolutely okay. Scrambler Full Throttle has got the wide handlebars, and because of which when you tend to ride the motorcycle you feel like you have better control. Compared to Monster, the handlebars on this one is a lot more wider. Welcome back. I'm on the Scrambler Full Throttle. This is the first time I'm getting to ride this motorcycle. Very familiar place to be in. 4.3-inch TFT dash. We are on the sport mode. Got a fuel gauge. Familiar cluster from the Ducati range of motorcycles, so I'm not going to talk about it. Non-adjustable forks in the front. 18-inch front wheels, 17-inch rear wheels. 330mm single disc 4-piston Brembo caliper in the front, single disc single piston Brembo caliper at the back. I think that should give enough stopping power for the motorcycle. All the Scramblers are built alike, same engine, same shock, same tire, same brakes. It's mostly the aesthetic difference. Okay, let's get moving. It's a very nimble bike. Matter of fact, once you start moving, you don't feel any weight at all on this motorcycle. Full Throttle has 3 add-ons compared to the rest of the Scrambler models. The first add-on is that it's got a quick shifter, comes in as standard. The second add-on is that it got a sum guard or a skid plate to protect the filter and the underbelly. The third add-on is that it has got a Terminioni slip-on exhaust. So all of this comes in as standard on the Full Throttle and Full Throttle alone. The price what the Scrambler Full Throttle is asking for is about 70,000 ringgit. But for that you will get all of these add-ons as factory fitted. So can I stand up and ride? Yeah, I can stand up and ride the Full Throttle, but it feels a lot more natural on the icon to stand up and ride. The handle position on the Cafe Racer does not help with standing up and riding. If you are into mild off-roads, I think you should consider the icon. Scrambler model is the most affordable Ducati which you can buy. If you pay another 5,000 on top of this, you'll get a Monster. Matter of fact, when the Monster was newly introduced in Malaysia, it was going for the price of 70,000 ringgit. So, do you want a motorcycle which has a better power to weight ratio compared to Scrambler? Then look at the Monster. You get about 114 horsepower and 94 newton meters of torque from the hypermotard engine which is fitted on the Monster. So that's a good deal in my opinion, but the Monster may not be for everybody. If you go for the Monster SP, that's better suited for the track with the juicy all-ins and everything else on it. So I think we'll get to open the throttle. So the quick shifter works like a charm. It's perfect. It has the best power to weight ratio of any Scrambler models which is out there. Whether you consider a Triumph or whether you consider a Yamaha or a Honda Scrambler, this one has got the best power to weight ratio of any Scrambler models which is out there. It got a dry weight of 170 kilograms. It got a wet weight of 185 kilograms. And it has a horsepower of 75 horsepower and 65 newton meters of torque. So once the motorcycle starts moving, you won't feel any weight at all. So it feels like you're riding a 150cc motorcycle or a 250cc motorcycle. That's how you feel. It's as easy as that to ride this. And because it's got a good amount of torque, you don't have to do constant gear changes. You can give more in on your throttle. You can get more in on your throttle and it will pick up and run. So it's a very easy motorcycle to ride. I mentioned that this is the most affordable Ducati which you can buy. But if you are a little price conscious and if you think this is too much to pay for, there are other choices in the market which might offer a better competitive price on the models which is out there. But keep in mind that it's not a Ducati, it's not a V-twin. This has got a V-twin air-cooled engine. One of the big questions which I always get asked is that, does it produce a lot of heat being an air-cooled engine? It does not really produce a lot of heat, or you cannot feel any heat whatsoever when you are on the move. But when you are stationary, you will feel some amount of heat coming through, but that's quite natural. This is a piece of Ducati, and Ducati always asks for a premium price. Ducati is trying to encourage younger generation people to come buy more and more scramblers. A new rider would not benefit out of configurable settings and configurable shocks and all of it. If you are a person who just want to get on the motorcycle and ride it, this is perfect. This is perfect for somebody who does not have to worry about all the adjustments. This motorcycle is for somebody who is beginner, who is transitioning from a lower cc motorcycle to a higher cc motorcycle and want to have a Ducati. This motorcycle will serve the purpose for somebody who wants to start with a Ducati. And I mentioned that this is very easy to ride. This is so easy that a couple of days ago I went to buy a 150cc motorcycle for my kids, and this feels exactly the same. No stress at all, no struggle at all. It's a very easy motorcycle for you to ride. So city riding, tick. Fun motorcycle, tick. Ducati, tick. Traction control, tick. Riding modes, tick. Engine power configuration, tick. So I think if you're one of those riders who is starting with a Ducati, I think you should go out and try this one. Compared to the previous generation, this model has lost 4 kilograms. Compared to the previous generation, it's got a color 4.3-inch TFT dash. Compared to the previous generation, it has got traction control. Compared to the previous generation, engine and the wheels have lost weight. Compared to the previous generation, it comes with the riding modes. It's got a ride-by-wire throttle, which means that the throttle response is more even and smooth. So the new generation Scrambler is a much more desirable piece, as more technically advanced compared to the previous generation. There you go, you have all the reasons to buy the new Scrambler. Even if you want to do some spirited riding on a scrambler, I think it is okay. It's got enough power. It got enough stopping power from the Brembo brakes in the front and the back. So unless price is a big question for you, I think you should consider buying the Ducati Scrambler. The cons of Scrambler: number one, you got a V-twin engine, and one of the cylinder head is directly under your crotch, which means that if you are stationary, you will feel some amount of heat coming through, but as long as you are moving, you will not feel any heat at all. Number two, if you are taller than 5'10", your leg position may be a little cramped on this one. Number three, the price on this motorcycle. This is asking for about 70,000 ringgit. For 70,000 ringgit, you will get a lot more options in the market. But this is the most affordable Ducati which you can buy. Number four, the seat on this motorcycle. It's not as wide as a monster seat, and the foam is not as thick as some other models. So which means that you cannot do long distances on this one, so you have to stop, relax your butt before you continue with your riding. Those are the four cons of the Ducati Scrambler which I can think of. The pros for you to consider a Ducati Scrambler Full Throttle are: number one, you got all the bells and whistles on a brand new motorcycle. You got the 4.3-inch TFT dash, 4 levels of traction control, you got 2 engine power configuration modes, you got 2 riding modes, you got all the bells and whistles which you want on a modern motorcycle. You got cornering ABS, you got everything. So from that point of view, this is a complete motorcycle, and you don't need to add on anything, you just need to buy it and go out and ride it. That's one of the reasons you should consider buying the Scrambler. Number two, if you are a vertically challenged person, say you are somewhere between 5'2" to 5'10", this is a perfect motorcycle for you. It has a standard seat height of 795mm, and the seat can be lowered to 780mm and can be elevated to 810mm. So it suits all the way from 5'2" to 5'10". But if you are above 5'10", you might feel the motorcycle a little cramped. That's the only thing. The other pros for Scrambler is that you got a best power to weight ratio of any Scrambler models which is out there. Whether you take into consideration a Triumph, you take into consideration a Honda or Yamaha, it's got the best power to weight ratio of any Scrambler models which is out there. So once you get the motorcycle going, you will not feel any weight at all. And I want to thank Veli Sungai Buloh for organizing this test ride. I want to ride this motorcycle for such a long time, and this is the first time I'm getting the opportunity to ride it. So thanks to Veli Sungai Buloh for organizing the test ride. Much obliged. Hopefully this video will help someone out there in making their buying decisions. As always, everybody, thank you for watching.